Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. And this time, we are tackling the challenge of achieving really remarkable business growth.
Yes.
Not just, those little incremental things,
Right.
but we're talking about doubling your revenue and profit in 3 years.
Yeah, that's ambitious.
Ambitious, right?
Absolutely.
So help us break this down. We've got some excerpts from Cameron Herold's book
Okay.
called Double Double, and it's all about using what he calls the vivid vision to get there.
I love this concept.
Yeah. And, he kind of has the track record to back it up.
Yeah.
I mean, he used this to take 1-800-GOTJNK from a $2 million company to $106 million in just 7 years.
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. So we're in good hands.
For sure.
But here's the thing that I think is so interesting about this right from the start.
Okay.
He says, a vivid vision. This is not your typical vision statement or business plan.
Right.
It's something different.
It's much more engaging.
Yeah. And I think that's what caught my eye. Immediately it's like, how is this different?
Yeah. Well, what's fascinating is that it really shifts our thinking. And we lose sight of the bigger picture.
Right.
And a vivid vision kind of flips the script.
Okay.
It focuses on the where.
Okay, so tell me more about that. What is a vivid vision?
Well, so a vivid vision, he emphasizes the 3-year mark.
Okay.
It creates this urgency without being overwhelming.
Okay.
3 years is long enough for these ambitious goals, but it's short enough to feel achievable.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And here's the key difference.
Yeah.
Instead of just having bullet points and spreadsheets, a very dry document, it's a 3 to 4 page document, and it's written very descriptively.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's really about capturing the feeling of success 3 years out.
Okay.
Almost like a time travel exercise.
So you're not just like stating goals, you're trying to embody it almost.
Exactly. You're stepping into that future version of yourself.
Wow.
And describing that experience.
So it's about painting a picture so vivid that it feels real tangible.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah. And he gives you a checklist of questions
Okay.
to kind of help you embody that future success.
Yeah, so give me some examples. What kind of questions?
So he asks things like, what are clients saying about your company 3 years from now?
Okay.
What's the buzz in your community about your company?
Mm-hmm.
What's the media writing about you?
I like that.
How do you, the leader, feel every day waking up and running this successful company?
Yeah, he wants you to really feel it.
He wants you to feel it, engage all your senses.
Yeah.
Make it so real in your mind.
It's like it's inevitable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's already happened.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's where I think this starts to get really interesting for our listeners, because it's not just conjuring up these images and feelings in a vacuum.
Right.
He doesn't just advocate writing the vivid vision.
Yeah.
He's adamant about sharing it broadly and making it a tangible part of the company culture.
It can't just live on a piece of paper.
Right. And he tells this great story about 1-800-GAROT-J-Young-K and their, can you imagine, wall?
Oh, yeah. That wall is legendary.
Tell me about it. What was that?
So it was this physical space in their office. And employees could post their wildest dreams for the company, no matter how crazy they were.
I love that.
It was like shifting the entire mindset from this is what we do to what if we could achieve anything?
Yeah, like what's possible.
Exactly. And that's what's so cool about this seemingly crazy idea wall.
Okay.
It led to this incredible opportunity.
Yeah, you're talking about the Harvard Business School case study. Yeah. I mean, how does that happen?
So someone saw that wall and happened to know somebody at Harvard Business School.
Wow.
And thought their story would make an incredible case study.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history.
That's amazing.
It's perfect because it shows how that energy, when it's tangible and shared, it can lead to unexpected opportunities. You just never know who might connect with it.
Yeah, you're putting it out there.
Exactly.
And you never know what's going to come back.
Exactly.
And it's not just about big public displays either.
Right.
He tells this other story about a marketing manager at 1-800-GOTJUNK.
Yeah.
And she put a seemingly impossible idea on the can you imagine wall.
Okay.
She wanted to get their name on Starbucks cups.
Oh, wow.
And it seemed like a long shot.
Of course.
But through sheer persistence and problem solving,
They did it.
they got their name and a quote on 10 million Starbucks cups across North America.
For free.
For free.
That's incredible.
Talk about making a vision a reality.
That's amazing.
Right. So it's that can you imagine attitude
Yes.
that can turn seemingly impossible ideas into tangible wins.
I love that.
Me too.
That's awesome.
So, I think some of our listeners might be thinking, okay, this sounds inspiring.
Right.
But is it just wishful thinking?
Yeah. There's the concrete action plan.
Right. How does this translate into actual results?
That's where he gets into the power of visualization.
Okay.
He argues it's not just some woo-woo feel-good concept. It's actually backed by science.
Oh, interesting.
You know how elite athletes train?
Yeah.
They don't just physically practice.
Right.
They mentally rehearse their victories.
Oh.
They visualize every single detail.
Interesting.
And there's more and more research coming out now that visualization can actually change brain patterns and improve performance in all kinds of fields, including business.
So it's not just about creating a nice story in your head.
No.
There's real neurological power.
Yes, there is.
To vividly imagining your success.
And this isn't just limited to business.
Right. This can apply to anything.
Anything.
Personal goals, projects, relationships.
Exactly.
Anything you want to achieve.
Envisioning that outcome in detail can have a significant impact.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Absolutely.
And he highlights this with some really diverse examples of vivid visions done well.
Yeah, he does.
By other companies. And one that stood out to me was Gong Show Gear.
Oh, yeah. They're a clothing brand for hockey fans.
Yeah, and what's brilliant about their approach
Yeah.
is how they tailored the tone and language of their vivid vision to perfectly match their audience. It wasn't corporate jargon.
Right. It was authentic.
Yeah, something that those fans would get excited about.
Yeah.
And speaking of tailoring the vision, he also highlights Blue Grace Logistics.
Okay.
A company that used their vivid vision to attract talent.
Yes.
And generate tons of positive media coverage.
What they understood was the power of making their vision part of their employer brand. They used it to showcase their values and their culture and their aspirations.
So it almost became a recruiting tool.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
And then there's Fish Marketing.
Okay.
A company that went above and beyond to make their vivid vision document itself visually engaging.
Oh, wow. So they really went all out.
They turned it into a beautifully designed booklet.
Oh, wow.
With visuals and storytelling. So it was something that people wanted to read and share.
Yeah.
And it helped them build excitement both internally and externally.
Okay, so the takeaway there is there's no one-size-fits-all approach.
Exactly.
Your vivid vision should reflect your unique brand.
Yes.
Your goals and your target audience.
Make it your own.
I love that.
Absolutely.
All right, I think it's time for us to pause here and let our listeners absorb all these brilliant examples.
Sounds good.
And we'll be back in just a minute.
Looking forward to it. You know what we've seen with all these examples is a vivid vision is more than just words on a page. It's really about weaving a story,
Yeah.
Creating an experience that captures people's hearts and minds.
Absolutely. And speaking of weaving a story, one of the things that really struck me about Herold's book is how he emphasizes the importance of not just crafting the vivid vision, but bringing it to life. Making it part of the daily fabric of your company.
Right.
He even suggests having employees reread the vivid vision throughout the year, especially during planning retreats.
Yeah, that regular reinforcement is key.
Yeah.
To keep that vision front and center so everyone stays aligned. It's like a compass, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you're navigating all those day-to-day challenges and decisions.
Absolutely. And that alignment goes beyond internal teams too.
Oh, totally.
Herold actually recommends sharing the vivid vision with people outside the company, suppliers, bankers, even potential investors.
Yeah, I can see how some people might be hesitant about that.
Yeah.
Giving away your secret sauce.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
is that smart?
He makes a really compelling argument for transparency.
Okay.
He believes the more people that understand your vision, the more likely they are to support you.
Okay.
So think of it as creating a network of allies.
Yeah.
All working towards a shared goal.
I like that.
So, for example, if your suppliers understand your vision, they can better anticipate your needs.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. If bankers see your clear direction, they're more likely to feel confident in giving you a loan.
They see where you're going.
Exactly. And for potential investors, a well-articulated, vivid vision can be super persuasive.
It's almost like building a movement.
It is.
Around your vision.
Yes.
And I think when you think about some of the most successful companies,
yeah.
They often have these passionate communities of customers and supporters who share their vision.
Exactly. It's powerful.
Yeah. And Herold actually walks us through his own vivid vision in the book.
He does.
And it's incredibly detailed.
Yeah.
I mean, he covers not just his business aspirations, but his personal goals as well.
Which I think is so important, to have that holistic vision.
Right. He maps out everything from speaking engagements to coaching programs, from his media presence to his work-life balance. I mean,
he really walks the walk.
Yeah, he does. And he even sets specific revenue targets.
Yeah.
Like aiming for a 100% increase in revenue from the previous year.
That's ambitious.
It is ambitious, right?
Yeah. And remember, this was back in 2011 when he wrote the book.
Yeah.
So looking back now, it's fascinating to see how much of that vision he's actually brought to life.
Yeah, he's a living testament to the power of this approach.
He is.
Okay, so let's say our listener is ready to start crafting their own vivid vision.
Okay.
Where do they begin?
Well, Herold is very clear about this.
Okay.
Resist the urge to jump on your computer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he really recommends starting with pen and paper.
Interesting.
There's something about that tactile process that unlocks creativity and allows thoughts to flow more freely.
I can see that.
He also encourages you to get out of the office.
Okay.
Find a space that inspires you.
Okay.
Whether it's by the ocean in a forest or even your backyard hammock.
I like that.
The key is to disconnect from that daily grind.
Yeah.
And allow yourself to dream big.
Just let it flow.
Exactly. And here's a crucial tip.
Okay.
Focus on the where, not the how.
Okay.
Don't get bogged down in the logistics of how you're going to achieve the vision. Right now, it's about painting that picture of what it looks and feels like.
Okay.
To be living that success 3 years from now.
Got it. So paint the picture first and then worry about the how-to later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to guide you through that process, he gives you a really helpful checklist of questions.
Yeah, we've touched on some of them. But there are a few more that I found really thought-provoking.
Okay, like what?
Well, he asks things like, how is the company running day to day?
Okay.
Is it organized, efficient?
Yeah.
What's the energy like?
I like that because those questions force you to think beyond just financial metrics.
Right.
What's the culture like? How do people interact?
Right. What are the systems in place?
Exactly. And then he goes even deeper.
Okay.
And he asks, what kind of stuff do you, the leader, do every day in this successful future? Are you focused on strategy, team building, client relationships?
Yeah. How do you feel?
How do you feel?
He wants you to really connect.
He does.
With the emotional reality.
Yes.
Of that future self.
Not just what you're doing, but how you're being.
Exactly. I love that distinction.
Me too. And he encourages including things that might seem outlandish.
Okay.
He says if an idea is too crazy to even mention, it's probably something that you should include in your vivid vision.
So don't censor yourself.
Exactly.
Let those big, bold dreams flow.
Yes.
Okay.
And remember, once you have that initial vision drafted, it's not set in stone.
Right.
You need to review it regularly, share it with your team, and adjust as needed.
Okay.
It's a living document, a compass that guides you, but it also needs to evolve.
That makes sense.
Yeah, the business landscape changes all the time.
Right.
So your vision needs to be adaptable.
Okay, so how often should you be revisiting it?
He suggests at least quarterly. Make sure it still resonates. It still aligns with your goals and priorities. And don't be afraid to tweak it. Make it even more powerful.
And speaking of powerful examples.
Yeah.
One that really stood out to me in the book.
Okay.
Was the story of MCI.
Oh, yeah.
A global association and event management company based in Geneva.
They're serious about living their vivid vision.
Yeah. They actually have employees read a section of it.
Wow.
Before every single meeting.
That's amazing.
Talk about keeping the vision front and center.
I love that.
Right. And it's clearly paying off them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're known for their exceptional events, their strong company culture.
They've built a global reputation for excellence.
And a lot of that can be attributed,
I think so,
to their unwavering commitment to their vivid vision.
It just reinforces that idea that when you align your actions with a clear vision, incredible things can happen.
It's not magic, right?
It's not magic.
It's about harnessing that power
Yes.
of collective intention.
And that's something that any listener can start doing today.
Absolutely.
No matter what size their company is.
Or the nature of their goals.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
As we start to wrap up this deep dive, what are some of the key takeaways you'd like our listeners to walk away with?
You know, the core concept here is that a vivid vision is a really potent tool for achieving rapid growth, not just in business, but in any area of life.
Mm-hmm.
It's about painting that picture of your desired future.
Yeah.
And using that as a driving force for your decisions and actions.
So it's not about replacing traditional planning.
Right.
It's about infusing that planning
Yes.
with a powerful sense of purpose and direction.
Exactly. It's about combining the head and the heart.
I love that.
The strategic mind.
Yeah.
With that visionary spirit.
So it's both.
It's both.
And remember, this isn't just for CEOs or entrepreneurs.
Right.
These principles can be applied to personal goals, creative projects, relationships, anything you want to achieve.
Anything you want to achieve.
It's about tapping into that human capacity.
Yes.
To dream big.
Yes.
And then channel that dream.
Yes.
Into tangible action.
I love it.
Right?
Yep.
And crucial part of that process is sharing your vision.
Yes. Make it a living, breathing part of your world.
Don't keep it locked away in a drawer.
Exactly.
Let it out into the world. Share it with your mentors, your supporters.
You never know who might connect with it and help make it a reality.
You just never know.
Exactly.
I think a lot of people, though, might get intimidated by this whole process. Right?
Yeah.
It's one thing to dream big, but then it's like, okay, how do I actually make this happen?
Right. Well, that's where he brings in this concept of reverse engineering your success.
Okay.
So he argues it's not enough to just visualize the destination. You need to break it down into those smaller, actionable steps.
Okay.
So you start with that picture of where you want to be in 3 years.
Yeah.
And then work backward, identifying those key milestones that you need to hit along the way.
So instead of getting overwhelmed by the huge goal, you're breaking it down into smaller chunks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, what are the major accomplishments, the key partnerships, the crucial hires, the essential resources that are going to pave the path to that future.
Yeah. So you're creating almost like a roadmap.
Exactly. It takes the vision out of the clouds and brings it down to earth.
I like that. And that's where the strategic planning comes in, right? You're taking that big, inspiring vision and turning it into a concrete plan.
Right. And this is key for our listeners. A vivid vision is not meant to replace that traditional business planning.
Right.
It's meant to inform it and inspire it.
Got it.
It gives you that North Star to navigate by as you develop those strategies and action plans.
I love that analogy because it's not an either. No, it's using both.
It's both.
Synergistically.
Absolutely. The vivid vision provides that big picture inspiration, the emotional fuel. And then the strategic plan provides the structure and the concrete steps.
So they work together.
They work together.
And Herold really emphasizes this process of creating and implementing a vivid vision. It's ongoing, right?
It is.
It's not a one-time event.
It's a journey.
It's not like you create the vision, frame it, and like hang it on the wall and never touch it again.
No, you've got to revisit it.
Okay.
Refine it, adapt it.
So how often do you suggest revisiting it?
At least quarterly, just to make sure it still resonates. Make sure it still aligns with your goals and priorities.
It's okay to change it.
Oh, absolutely.
If things have shifted.
Tweak it, refine it, make it more powerful.
And, you know, speaking of powerful examples, one that stood out to me from the book was the story of MCI.
Oh, yeah.
A global association and event management company.
They're based in Geneva.
They're serious.
They are.
About living their vivid vision.
They really walk the walk.
They do. They have their employees read a section of it before every single meeting.
That's commitment.
Talk about keeping it front and center.
I love it.
And it's clearly paying off for them.
It is.
I mean, they're known for their exceptional events and their strong company culture.
They have a global reputation for excellence.
And a lot of that, I think, can be attributed to their commitment.
For sure.
To that vivid vision.
Yeah, it reinforces the idea that when you align your actions with that clear vision, amazing things can happen.
So it's not about things always going exactly according to plan, right?
Of course not.
Because there are unexpected challenges, opportunities emerge, priorities shift.
Right. But the key is to stay flexible.
Okay.
Learn from those experiences.
Yeah.
And keep that vivid vision in focus as your guiding light.
So it's like having a destination in mind.
Yes.
But being open to taking different routes.
I love that.
Yeah, me too. And I appreciate how he acknowledges the messy reality of pursuing these big goals.
That's not a straight line.
It's not a straight line. And I love how he ends the book.
Me too.
With a call to action that's both inspiring and grounded.
Yeah.
He challenges readers to step up and become the leaders they were meant to be.
He does.
He says the world needs more leaders who are willing to dream big, take risks, and create a better future for all of us.
It's a powerful message.
It is. It's not just about achieving success for yourself.
Right.
It's about using your vision and your leadership to make a positive impact
on the world.
Yeah. So it's bigger than just us.
It is. We all have a contribution to make.
Yeah.
And a vivid vision is a tool to unlock that potential.
Okay, so to wrap things up, if you're feeling stuck, if you're yearning for more, if you have that burning desire to create something extraordinary in your business or in any area of your life, I highly recommend checking out Cameron Herold's book, Double Double.
It's a great read.
It's a practical and inspiring guide.
It is.
That can help you unlock your full potential.
Remember, the first step is to dare to dream big.
Dream big.
Create that vivid vision and let it guide you.
The world is waiting for your unique contribution.
It is.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of vivid vision.
It was my pleasure.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep dreaming big.